So as we start 2023, there is some interesting news coming from the UK, where the UK government have decided to clamp down on private jet travel by increasing the taxes per passenger. This is happening as of April of 2023. The taxes are going to increase £78 per passenger, $94 on flights under 2,000 miles, over 5,500 miles. The tax is going to be £601 or $721 per passenger. But there is an organisation out there, the Campaign for Better Transport, and they're saying we need to increase this even more, even up to £6,000 per passenger. They reckon that if this happens, the government will raise £1.4 billion, and this money can be used for public ground transportation, investing in this sector. So this is what they're saying that needs to be done here. Now, is this a good idea? Now, I don't think it's a good idea. Now, the reasoning behind it is they're saying that private jets basically pollute the air, and they're very, very bad for the environment, for the planet, for society. So, they want to kind of go in the direction of banning this. But what's happening here is these people are very short-sighted. They don't ask themselves the question, why are certain people buying aeroplanes? Why are they flying private jet? Why are they chartering a private jet instead of flying Ryanair, EasyJet, or British Airways, or Lufthansa? Or why are these people buying their own aircraft and moving around and flying privately? They think that these people are just doing it because they've got a lot of money, and so they want to fly on their own airplane. They don't realise that the airplane, the private jet, is a time machine. You're buying time. You're not buying an airplane when you buy a private aircraft or when you use a private aircraft. And by saving time, you will increase your performance. So this is a clear message. And this has already happened in France, where they're banning flights of a certain distance. You have to go by train, not by plane. But this is just a clear message that the government is deciding to go down the route of clamping down on entrepreneurship and business. Now, the entrepreneur that's looking to come to the UK to invest in whatever business here in the UK, they see something like that and say, it's going to cost me £6,000 per passenger. Now, it's not the fact that it's the £6,000 because they have the money to pay that tax per passenger. It's a clear message that the government is going in a direction of being anti-private jet usage. But anti-private jet usage means it's anti-business. So the entrepreneur that's outside the UK thinking of investing here sees something like that and say, it's a clear message that this is just the beginning of the downfall of the British economy. So do I really want to go there and invest my money and create jobs there when they're going to end up increasing taxes and increasing regulation and whatever, which is going to make it difficult for my business to prosper? So you know what? I'm going to take my money elsewhere. And this is what's going to happen. And, this is not a prediction or anything. We just have to look at history. We see what happened in other countries. Let's take Venezuela, for example, even Canada, where you see that over the last 5-6 years, the Canadian economy has gone down because the government have been attacking, businesses and entrepreneurship and that. We saw this in Venezuela. Venezuela is a country, if you look at the natural resources that Venezuela has between gold, oil, and other, fruits, vegetables, and whatever, they have so many natural resources. It's a very, very rich country from a natural resource standpoint. But because the government went down, increasing taxes and going socialist and that, all the top entrepreneurs have left the country. The country is in absolute shambles right now, and it's really, really sad to see this happen. And if we're not careful here in the UK, this is exactly what's going to happen. I mean, we already see it happening in the European Union, with the economic growth is flat or negative, we're going to see this in the UK as well if we go down this route. So it's not this is not an attack on private jets. This is an attack on entrepreneurs, on business people. Someone that's thinking of starting a business in the UK needs to think carefully if this is the right place. Maybe you need to take your ideas somewhere else. So let me hear from you. What's your thought on this whole tax hike on private jet travel that they're intending to implement here in the UK? Already going to be implemented in April, but the Campaign for Better Transport wants that number to be even higher, because they think that it's going to raise £1.4 billion, but it won't. It will actually raise a lot less, because people just won't travel by private jet. People will not come to the UK with their private jet. They'll go elsewhere and take their business elsewhere. That's exactly what's going to happen, because that's what's happened in other countries. It's as simple as that. So let's get the conversation going here. If you haven't subscribed to BizJet TV, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and give me a super thanks if you really enjoyed this video. And yeah, and check out this other one I did just recently about my predictions of the market for 2023. Lots of interesting content on that video. That's all from Fabrizio Poli on BizJet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.